welcome and thank you for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day or night. Let's get you some clarity. We're actually going to start with the energy oracle and see what's going on in the overall vibes right now. This reading's timeless, collective. See what feels like it resonates, and always follow and trust that divine connection that is in you, to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, because the answer is in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's see what's going on. See what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What is the main focus right now? It's pretty big. The main focus is about speaking or opening up about something, communication. I do feel like in this card, there's like a bubble around Archangel Gabriel's head. Also, Gabriel is the word of God. So maybe this is somebody tapping into their higher self, or I feel like this is somebody that's keeping their thoughts to themselves until the right time to speak comes through, or the right person to speak to. If somebody's throat chakra was closed, I do see it opening up, but specifically for, I hear a deep knowing, I hear deep, like a deep knowing, a deep feeling, or maybe a deep connection. I feel like somebody either was confused. I feel like somebody needs to protect their thoughts. Actually, with that thought bubble, I'm getting that somebody needs to, I just heard disappear, but like go away, maybe from chaos or jibber jabber or others' opinions, and really know what whoever this is, they are, when they're in tune with their higher self, when they're communing with their intuition, like a deep knowing, I feel like they're gonna reflect or see how maybe outside energies were throwing them off. I don't know why that's coming through right now. So maybe this person did not realize that the reason they were so confused is because they were letting something penetrate that bubble, maybe even create a little confusion. I feel like that is going away, and somebody is learning how to protect themselves, but also when to let somebody in that bubble, because I do feel like there can be a conversation, but I'm kind of getting that it has to be maybe a private convo. Maybe if this person was not going directly to the horse's mouth, it's due time. Also, Gabriel is holding a trumpet, so there is going to be a call, an alarm, a sound, to know when to move. It also looks like he's holding a cup, so he's holding that chalice of love. Maybe this is somebody learning to speak up for themselves on what they need to do that is healthy for them. Maybe there is an offer. Maybe this offer starts with a conversation. Truthful words. Tell us more. Why is the fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, coming through? What else would be helpful to know? I want to know what's outside the bubble. What is outside the bubble, either that needs to come on in or needs to be kept out? Let's see. Tell us about what's outside the bubble. Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. Exactly. The community. Somebody could be overly concerned about others' opinions. What will they say? What will they think? Who cares? Maybe this is somebody starting to realize that what their truth is more important than what others think. I'm also getting how they appear, but it could be where somebody is learning to maybe let more people in if they're in the right environment, the right group. Because if this is a positive community setting, whether that's many others or just one person in particular, this could be people at somebody's job, this could be people in, the neighborhood. I think that's the neighborhood. I think that's a band. Maybe there's a song that needs to come through by then. It could be somebody's family. It could be, I hear heritage. It could just be the world. But I feel like there is a positive community that somebody needs to spend more time with. The positive friends that you vibe with, that love you for you. I feel like it's where you can speak your truth and people could have a different opinion, and that's cool because differences are embraced and not shunned upon. So whoever this is needs to evaluate, that birds of a feather energy. If they feel like their energy is a little off and who's in their flock, then maybe they need to fly to another nest. So tell us about the call. I want to know about that trumpet. What is this calling, or the trumpet, or the alarm, or the sound? It's because somebody's called to totally be in. This is kind of my like soulmate, twin flame, balance between masculine and feminine, yin yang, perfect balance card. It's, it looks like it's the moon and the sun together, the night and the day, silver and gold. It's where something is really different, and that's why it's a balance. If there's a constant imbalance somewhere, something needs to come back together in harmony. But I feel like this is who should be in that person's bubble. Who they find, even if they're really, really different, they come together and it makes this extra energy. I don't want to say they're whole, because it's like the whole and the whole come together to maybe make a third. It's also a master number, man, with the 22. So, 22 breaks down to 4, which breaks down to the Emperor, which has the energy of stability or something to build upon, a solid platform. Maybe some of you have a platform. Yin yang. But I'm getting that either this is the balance between two individuals or within oneself that has to be found first. I feel like I keep hearing that somebody needs to go away from a group for a little while, maybe go on a road trip, do not disturb for the weekend, or not be in their usual environment to be able to see that environment in a new perspective. And I feel like that is going to bring balance. So you have 7, 39, 22. Let's see. I'm going to go to something really different. Hold on. This is the Divine Dog. As I have Rose here being a very good girl on the rock, right, babe? All right, let's see what the Divine Dog has to say about yin yang community and 5th chakra, Word of God, Archangel Gabriel. What does the Divine Dog have to say to bring a little more depth into this energy, this situation? Ooh, we got a lot. What's going on here? So, all right. So you have. Are you all right? I forgot this was even in here. I think that's a Vizsla. So there's a lusty kind of energy. There's something that somebody really, really wants, very badly. Maybe somebody has to hold back on that leash, or they're like, I don't know. I feel like somebody is been on a leash for a long time, and they maybe need to go to the dog park and just kind of let go, let loose. Now, if this is a negative, lustful energy, and it's just a want, a selfish desire, even some kind of energy of addiction, something like that, I feel like maybe that's why somebody needs to be alone for a little bit. Says, gotta have it. I also feel like maybe there's somebody that's restraining themselves because they know if they're in the presence of maybe somebody they really balance and groove with, that I feel like somebody wants to take it slow, do something right, because they see that solid foundation. And if somebody just has extreme chemistry, which probably if that's a soulmate twin flame thing would be the case, I feel like somebody wants to do something right. Somebody's waking up though, their eyes are wide open. Maybe they're finally seeing what was going on around them, right in front of their face, that they did not notice before. Maybe somebody is awakening to having to speak about their truth. I feel like somebody actually has, I don't want to say just has a crush on somebody, but I feel like somebody has a lot of feelings that are kind of, it's giving me that divine truth, banana card energy. You know, they're taking a lot of cold showers. They have a lot going on, but maybe it's never been expressed, addressed, talked about. Maybe it's just talking about those heavily romantic feelings openly. Maybe somebody was afraid that they wouldn't be received. And that might be the case. If somebody is just love bombing you and it's only this energy of lust, maybe you're waking somebody up and saying, whoa, Nelly, not what I'm looking for right now. Or not even interested in you. Thank you, no thank you. Maybe a no is a whole sentence. But I feel like I do feel like somebody maybe is used to getting attention, or was, but I feel like it's now really waking up to where they get the attention from, how valuable that attention is, and whether it is something that is deep or surface level shallow. I don't feel like somebody wants to be in the shallow zone. Like maybe there's a little chemistry, a little hot and heavy, but I don't think that somebody wants something to be short-lived here. Maybe they did in the past. Maybe they never saw past the immediate gratification, looking at repercussions towards the future, but I kind of feel like somebody wants to see something in the long term, the long run. I don't feel like somebody just wants to do a somersault and they're done. I feel like they want to have this awakening where every day that they wake up, they feel like they get to embody this joyful experience, or this joyful reunion, or this job that they love, or what do they get to do today kind of energy. I feel like this is somebody who desires happiness, because I feel like if this was that energy that's kind of I am definitely getting like an addiction kind of energy, the sugar rush. Something started to give somebody like a toothache. That rush wasn't so valuable anymore. Somebody wants a rush that they can keep going for. Eyes wide open and find your bliss. That's a really big message. I feel like that's the biggest one. Find your bliss. Think about that word, bliss. What is that for you? What brings you joy? What do you do in your life where you just feel like you want to do, somersaults all over the yard, that you're going to skip to work? Is that a person? Is that an environment that you can join? Is it a team? I hear taking lessons. Maybe you're taking lessons on something. Maybe it's a subject you really enjoy. Maybe it is a group setting or people that just kind of vibe with you in a really positive way. Not where you leave an environment and you feel like the plug was pulled, you're confused, you are drained, or after that sugar rush, it's just kind of like I heard anti-climax. I feel like this is somebody who wants to hit that climax over and over. But whatever that is, find your bliss, follow your joy, let that guide you. If you don't know what that is, what makes you curious? And then trust yourself in that process on that journey. So curiouser and curiouser, what should we do next? Let me grab a card, hold on. All right, we're gonna go to the tarot. But now that I'm looking at this card, I feel like perhaps there is someone or a dream, or even I hear a new beginning that somebody really, and I'm not getting like surface level, like to the core of their soul, really desires, but maybe there is an energy that feels like they're the alpha, and that could be a whole group, that could be a specific person, that could just be somebody's mindset and their belief system that, You know, that person's really different, or that project's really hard, or that dream is too big. It can't happen. And I feel like maybe if it wasn't an outside source, there could be a self, you know, contained leash situation where somebody's holding themselves back on something that, if it's something in the core you really want to pursue and you're not taking a step, or you think it can't happen, I do feel like somebody is changing that, or that's what needs to change. Because I do feel like maybe this is even like, because there are two really different breeds of dogs here. It's like, no, you're a Vizsla, you know, you can't have a Maltese, that would never work. I mean, what if they were the most beautiful puppies ever? Maybe you just have to look at, you know, which one is the mother. You know, I don't know why I'm seeing that. Like, you know, the big dog, the small dog. You know, when you see a really, like, interesting looking dog, like I'm thinking of like, I don't know why I see like a Pomeranian and a German Shepherd. What is that? No, a Pomsky. That's like a Husky and a Pomeranian. Like, you kind of hope that maybe the Husky is the mother, but look at that Pomeranian go. It was like up on a stool. But maybe it's more like a Romeo and Juliet. Somebody has a different background. They're a different age. They're a different race. They're a different whatevs, you know? And maybe there was, you know, the community or one person's like, no, that doesn't work. That's not how it works. And I feel like somebody's waking up that if something is their truth and they were told, whether by someone else or themselves, that they cannot have that because it's too weird, it defies gravity. It changes their orbit, then maybe that needs to happen. So let's see, because I am getting mixed messages with that. Let's see what the tarot has to say. What did I bring? This is the Wanderers. The Wanderers Tarot. So let's ask, I want to ask about the awakening. The wake-up call. What you get to wake up and do. Excited about something you get to do today, or you plan today to do tomorrow, that brings you that joy that you're excited about. Maybe it's so exciting you don't even fall asleep, like a little kid knowing that Santa Claus is coming in the morning, you know? Maybe you're getting a gift. Maybe you connect to like the holidays. Maybe you have a surprise coming in too. I hear a knock. Maybe somebody's gonna knock on your door, or somebody. I just thought of like Back to the Future, like, hello, McFly. maybe that's like a spiritual hello, McFly. Oh my goodness. What is this awakening? Wow, that was quick. What is the awakening about? That somebody knows. Yeah, somebody's awake. It's kind of what I saw right in the beginning. Somebody is becoming awake and aware that somebody is not playing a game for the right reasons. That there's somebody around that just wants to hold the damn trophy. You know, they want to be seen as the winner, the best, the victor. But they're empty. They're sour. They're a bad player. You know, it's a sore loser if they lose. It's always because of them or because of that or whatever. And if they win, they're pompous, they're arrogant. They don't even have gratitude towards maybe how hard it was for somebody else to play that game with them. I feel like somebody doesn't want to play a sour game. Somebody doesn't want to be around somebody that just wants to hold all of the cards, that just wants to be in that position where they think that they are powerful, but their scars are showing, but not in a good way. You know, this is where you have two people back there and they don't even want to play the game anymore. They're like, you get all those trophies, they're yours, have fun by yourself. We're gonna go somewhere else and like chillax after being in such a sour session. I don't know why I heard session. Maybe this is a cycle or a cycle that's about to change. It is a 5, so something does have to change. But there could also be an awakening here. Let's flip it around because that's our Mr. Miyagi. Mrs. Miyagi here. Upside down, that is somebody waking up to see that somebody it was like that tough chess teacher. Like somebody's not gonna let them win to make them feel better. Somebody recognizes somebody's potential, abilities, and they want them to get better. So they're gonna give them the harder lesson, you know? If they're playing an instrument, they're not gonna keep them on Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. They're gonna give them the Vivaldi concerto instead. If this is somebody who they're playing chess with, they're gonna play the best game so that person, you know, gets used to playing against a good player. So let's see, why is the Five of Swords here? I just heard the cheese ends up standing alone. I also feel like whoever this is stinky. I don't like the Five of Swords upright. It's just somebody who has selfish intentions on why they do things. They're usually just in it for the gain, in it for themselves. They don't care how they win. They just want to win. No, that went back. What else? What do we need to know about the Five Swords? What's going on there? Please and thank you. Let's ask about the joy. Let's ask about this. Finding your bliss. And this is going to be for you. If you are a cross watcher and this is giving you clarity on someone else's situation, it's going to come from their higher self on what they are learning about or going through. But let's ask about the next step to finding your bliss, finding your joy. You have to have strength to do it, strength to walk away. Look at this card. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Maybe it's also something that happens in Leo season, or you or someone else has a lot of Leo in their chart. But you have this little girl. She's holding this little wand, you know, like this little energy of magic she is putting out into this dark space where that scary like lion thing that has its bones sticking out is right behind her. And she's just like la-di-da-di-da, like not even giving that attention. I feel like there's someone who recognizes that their light is way stronger than anything that casts a big shadow. That even if you feel like you are small, when I'm small, I think that's a song, that you can still stand tall, that you can face anything, because the strength card does come through when somebody has to face a situation that requires strength. If somebody was coming across like a, you know, like a big scary lion always growling all the time, even if that lion was always quiet and not growling, it could be a lion that pretends to purr. But if they are trying to in any way selfishly overpower someone else or try to make somebody feel small, then this is somebody standing up to that person or those people, feeling empowered now. I also feel like there has to be this, there's a trust. There's always a trust and a gentleness behind the energy of strength. Interesting though. Did I bring it? I don't have it. In the Thoth, I do believe that the strength card is actually called lust, which is really interesting. And it has, yeah, because it has this woman on, she's holding the leash, but she's, she feels really natural, but she's on this lion thing and it has all of these heads, like more than one head. It's knowing when to keep something contained when it is unhealthy, but it's also knowing when to tap into that inner wild side, that like, yeah, I'm getting that, like, I don't know, I have a card in my mystery deck and it's called Wild Woman or Wild Man, side out. Because if something is always constrained all the time, it's like that energy is always inside wanting to you know, be let off of the leash, to be in the energy of freedom, the free will to choose to stay or not, who to be around, how to tell someone to go, or how to invite somebody in. Let's ask what the strength card is coming in for. Because it's the strength to get out of the comfort zone. It's the strength that somebody let in an Empress go, and now they need to feel empowered and let go of energies that were not there for their highest good, or always trying to get over on someone, offering them. The Empress is not going to give a false offer. The Empress is going to give an offer of truth, of divinity, of also knowledge there. Maybe it's getting on the same page as the Empress. But if this came out upside down, the Four of Cups, it's somebody that was bored as hell. Wah, wah. They usually have this gift that is from God. Maybe that gift is from an Empress. Maybe it is the Empress. Maybe it's inspired by the Empress. Maybe it's even the Empress who is gaining the strength to know when a gift is coming from the divine and to take a sip, and when something is just mediocre and not worth her time. Because it's the opposite of this awakening and joy energy. That's somebody who's just bored, sitting by the tree, looking at what's in front of them, seeing what's not satisfied. They'll take another sip, it's still not satisfied. They'll take another sip, it's still not satisfied. Oh, what's that? A gift from God? No, that looks different from the comfort they know. So they'll just go back to that vanilla ice cream when they didn't know their favorite flavor might be coffee. So this is somebody that was definitely in their head, thinking, trying to be grounded with that tree, but maybe they need to branch out and do something different. Because if somebody, it's interesting because there's two here. This is a little different on the Four of Cups. There's two cups that are cracked. So maybe this person was like, every time I fill up those cups, they just seem to deplete. They just seem like there's a hole in the bottom of the glass. Maybe they'll try it again. Maybe this person's done trying. But there are two cups here, which is giving me a little bit of Two of Cups energy instead of just that one coming in. Maybe this energy is an exchange of energy between two. Even if that's not a partnership, it's between you and God or you and a community. Even if you're doing something solo, it's the people that come in, you know, clients, fans, supporters, whatever, you know, even professional advice. I don't know why I saw that. Anything that comes in that can help you if it's an individual project is an equal exchange. So I do feel like this is somebody that wants an equal exchange of energy, but it's the energy of cups. It's something that fulfills your soul, your heart, your emotions, your desires, but in a more divine way than just chemistry. If this is upside down, somebody wants to take a hold of an opportunity that was missed in the past. It could even be an opportunity to really step up to something they know is not right, not really there for their highest, greatest good, nor the growth of their soul. If somebody just wants to keep sleeping through life, or sleeping through opportunities, or sleeping through possibilities of this joy, somebody wants to not sleep anymore. I feel like I heard sitting on their hands. If they're sitting on their hands too long, their hands are gonna lose all feeling. Maybe this is, oh wow, what's that? The Righteous Brothers? You've lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. You've lost that. Maybe somebody's lost their love and feeling for someone. Maybe it just doesn't feel the same. Then I just thought of Feel It Still by Portugal the Man. You have an eagle. Oh, maybe what'll show up today, there's a bald eagle. Maybe that is a sign for some of you. You know, that bald eagle energy, that higher purpose, that higher love, that elevated perspective to fly even above the clouds, above the storm, with that powerful energy that's taking you into your destiny. Maybe that's a symbol that shows up. Let's see. Let's ask about the Empress. tell us about the Empress, please and thank you. What do we need to know about her? Or him, but somebody in that divine feminine energy. What do we need to know about the Empress, please and thank you? The Ten of Cups. Somebody wants their Ten of Cups with the Empress. They want to wake up in that energy of joy and abundance with somebody that brings them. Oh, and the Four of Wands fell out too. Somebody, am I holding the joy card? Those are the moments of joy you feel so grateful that you said yes to instead of saying no and crossing your arms and staying in confusion over here. The Ten of Cups is happily ever after, and then you get more. It's where something isn't just a superficial, I don't know why I heard superficial contract. It's where you'll want to sign on that line and do it again. You're all in. You don't need to sleep on this situation. It's something that somebody knows in their soul, feels like this joyful, family, community, partnership, where I feel like with the Ten of Cups, it's in an environment where everybody gets to be happy, gets to find what fulfills their soul, and everyone else is happy for them. If you're in an environment and somebody doesn't want you to be happy, or your happiness has to be, I don't know, I heard sacrificed, for everybody else, that was weird. Then that's only true if you believe it or believe them. Because if you are embodying that true happiness energy, it's infectious in the most beautiful way. You give others permission that, yeah, you don't have to settle, you can be happy too. Look at how they did it. But there's a lot of people that don't really have a happy relationship or a happy family or a happy environment. But if it's that comfort zone, or if this is just sour energies and that's just how it is, that's just what they know, somebody is waking the hell up here that no, it's not how it has to be, because that's how it's always been done or all that they've ever known. Even if somebody doesn't get to witness it, they feel it in their soul that it is possible. Or there's somebody as powerful as an Empress that came by to remind somebody's soul that it can be real, not just a freaking fairy tale. But remember, that fairy tale energy, that real energy, is why it's amazing. That's why it's amazeballs. Because when it's real life stuff, it's not always going to be rainbows, butterflies, unicorns, and 4-leaf clovers every day. The reality's better. Because when you go through a tough-ass situation, you get stronger together. You bond more. You get through it together. You learn more about yourself by having a weird-ass chapter in your life that you get to, again, turn the page to a new one. The Four of Wands is like a marriage. I always see it kind of like the twin flame. It's a spiritual marriage. It's saying yes to the dance. It's being in the middle of that dance, those snapshots of your life that you look back and you remember and you're like, yeah, proud of yourself or proud of whoever this is for saying yes. Or if it's that those snapshots are weird pictures, it's somebody saying no and having that strength to accept more of the joy and less of the weird. It's okay to have people fall out of your life you are not in sync with anymore, especially if you are here. That means you are on a path of elevation. You are on a search to have growth. You have the desire to expand, to be in tune with your intuition, with your higher self, with the energies that most people don't notice. They may, subconsciously feel, but there's not that conscious connection to it. Sometimes you have to find more truth in what is unseen, and that will feel more real than what's put right in front of you. Especially if what's put right in front of you is constantly draining or cracked. You have 2 4s here. Wasn't the other one the 4 too? Oh no, the 22. You have a lot of 4 energy. Even the 8. 4 plus 4 equals 8, but the 8 is abundance, prosperity. You have these 2 girls here, and they're like, we can pick the plums today. Like, the plums are already, there's butterflies of change. They're biting into a situation that feels juicy and ripe instead of letting something get sour and soggy. You know, when you see that harvest is ready, you go get it. You're having the right help like next to you, and you brought your basket because you know this harvest is bigger than you ever imagined. Sometimes this is also celebration, so that could be others who celebrate your joy, your happiness, your success. Upside down, it's not saying yes. It's being in that pretty home and looking out the window and saying, I hope those plums are ripe today, or I hope my friend comes to help me. And then maybe there's a person that didn't show up. But if you just live vicariously through the window and never break that glass ceiling, you're never gonna know. This is worth knowing. This is worth trying. This is worth doing. Whether that is with another person or on your own. This is where you as a soul, you as a conscious person, look back and you pat yourself on the back, you give yourself a fist bump, you're like, yeah, proud of you. You know, next time that opportunity comes around, you're gonna have balls to do it again and again. Whew, this is powerful today. All right, let me pause you a minute. It is getting hot. I'm jumping the creek soon, but let's get you some final messages. I don't really have anything like any of those universe spirit things with me. All I have that has messages kind of is my mystery deck. So let's get you. You do have something that was stuck in the wrong. This was stuck in the mystery deck. So let's just take a look at Boss Daddy here. Stable, rich, business owner, CEO, big D energy. So maybe this is a balance of, where's your Empress? I mean, that would be a big old power couple and also a nice yin yang, but maybe Boss Daddy was in a lower vibration or around lower vibrations before. This Boss Daddy is bossing up. So let's see what would be helpful to know. What was that? 2. Yeah, somebody signed up for the stuff. The stuff was more important than the experience, than the spirit, than the energy. The stuff. Where's your wake up call? I love that this comes. I love when it comes full circle. Where are you? Eyes wide open. Awakening. Somebody's having a wake up call. Somebody's snapping out of always in 3D land and seeing that the stuff, you don't take it with you. But those experiences where this one, I'm a mess over here. This one and definitely that one are what you get to take. Somebody wants to really be in tune and in touch with their strength. They're smooth sailing ahead. So maybe this is not even the Boss Daddy or the Empress. Maybe this is whoever just wants to hold that trophy. That's where their value is. But I feel like even if there's others around, whoever that is, they always kind of feel alone because they've not been in touch with their higher self. What else? Ooh. Pay attention. What? Guys, we had all those like 4, what was it? 22, 8, and then all those 4s. Also the 5, 10. Maybe 10, 5, 5, 10. 3 with the Empress. Pay attention to repeating numbers, synchronicity that comes in your life. If you see a number, you look at the clock at a certain time, it's on a license plate, it's on a receipt, look it up. What's that angel number? See what you were thinking about at the time it came through. This is the first card that came through. Somebody ready to speak about the truth of their heart. Somebody that knows what that is, or they're figuring that out. Maybe that's what somebody is waking up to, or maybe somebody's waking up because they heard somebody's heart speak truth. Is there anything else from the mystery deck? This is only a part of it. Is there anything else that would be helpful for the collective to know? If there is somebody who's sad, that's the opposite of this joy. But sad is also a part of that everyday experience of life. You know, sometimes you don't understand what you really have until maybe it's gone. But it's taking that energy of sadness and transmuting it, getting stronger because of it, instead of letting it suck you down the drain. I feel like somebody is maybe working through sadness. Maybe somebody's sad that they lost a good chance. Somebody's even sad that maybe even the comfort zone that they're used to is going away and there are changes. Because even if somebody is not really comfortable in a certain place and there's a bittersweet letting go, it could also be that somebody had a dream with that 10 of Cups. You know, if somebody had a dream, they had a desire, they thought that a partnership would work out, a marriage would work out, this job would be their success, and then life comes through and sometimes it's even a tower moment or something happens to take that away, or it's like that, what was that? They lost that love and feeling. It's just not the same as it was when you signed up. And it could be where someone has to let go. That's at the bottom. I just stare at that. Maybe of codependency. To where it's interdependent, fruitful, prosperous. Sometimes it's hard to have that awareness and acceptance that a dream is not going to be what you foresaw. But that does not mean that there aren't better dreams, better desires and wishes and moments waiting for you on the horizon of your future. But it's hard to get there if you're keeping one foot in the past, feeling all this weight all on your shoulders. If somebody is constantly in codependency, that's also that energy of attachment. It's that energy of possibly needing to be needed. Or somebody that was always enabled to need somebody and never had the chance to stand up on their own 2 feet and try, even if they fail. That's how you learn. But if someone is never given the chance to do something on their own, mommy always does their homework for them, you know, their husband or their wife always prepares everything for them. They don't even know how to make themselves a sandwich because they never had to. Then how is that person going to learn? They're always going to feel like they're getting by. So that's not everybody, but maybe somebody is releasing that need to be codependent. Because Empress isn't codependent. Empress is like, okay, you don't want to sit on the throne next to me or do some pillow talk at night? I'm going to run this kingdom here. Boss daddy, you know, should be able to run his own business, make his own solid decisions. Let's see. Keep that. Let's get one more. What is one more? I'm kind of liking how the last few readings at the end here, these have given some deeper insight. I mean, these cards are all over in their messages. I did not say just happy Pollyanna when I wrote them. I tried to make them really real, and yet still tried to read them neutral. Really real, and someone's got the feels. Maybe those feelings are really unusual for somebody because they never got the chance to feel that kind of depth or emotion or connection ever before. Maybe that's why someone's throat chakra was a little bit blocked off, because they don't even know how to express what it is they are feeling. Maybe this is a feeling that their soul is waking up. They don't know what's going on when all of their chakras are in alignment and their masculine and feminine side feels like it's in balance. And all of a sudden, they have every next day of their life to look forward to instead of dreading or just sleeping. So I think that was our reading. Somebody's waking up, man. That's amazing. Whoever this is, and maybe it's you. And maybe you are the catalyst to someone waking up. Maybe it's also just embodying that strength to do so. Eyes wide open. But this, I bid you adieu. I gotta jump in the creek because it's like 110 degrees out here. I love you so much. I hope this reading was helpful. I look forward to seeing you so soon. Thank you for being here. And also thank you for, hey, thumbs upping this video. It does help this channel grow and I appreciate it. Thank you. I love you so much. Bye.